Alright, let's make another Fish Shack update video. It's a mess. It's a mess to the point that I'm just going to stop what I'm doing and clean because it's become unbearable to me. Stuff on the floor, stuff everywhere, stuff piled on top of each other. So I just need to organize and clean, and then I can pick back up with what I'm doing. But let's take a little break from what I'm doing to just give you a rundown. Alright, we got this tank here. It's on this rack that's turned sideways here with this maybe 1 foot opening here. So it's not really usable to get in there, but I can stick my arm in there to get to the supplies and stuff that I've just been piling up now. I haven't been organizing them like the plan was, so I gotta fix that. And I can kind of glance in from the side here to see how things are going. But this is my, I don't know, mixed community tank. Got bristle nose, Limia melanogaster, zebra danio, some domestic style platies, maybe a guppy fry or two, and some longfin palliatus cories, and a mix of live plants and artificial plants and all that. Alright, down here on the bottom, still have this tank, calling it a temporary tank, but I've got Xiphophorus helleri Rio Otapa. I picked up some more of those this past weekend and added to the collection, to the colony, however you want to call it. Got those from Rusty Wessel as well, so they're the same, everything same grouping. Alright, moving on around. Yeah, the crib's on the middle floor. It's in my way, but I haven't moved them out. Drained the tank down enough that I can scoot it around until I can get it where it needs to go. And that's because I've been working on this back here. Right now we've got this down here, the 55 that was on top of the cribs, and it just has, what do we have in there? Just some assorted guppies and some swordtails. The story behind these swordtails is a little confusing, so right now we're just going to say that they are a pretty hybrid swordtail. Yeah, not sure what they're hybridized with. I got stories of potentially Montezumas, potentially other stuff, and nobody's really sure. But swordtails are cool. And then up here, this is the 55 that was in the house. It's come out now. Don't have it running, just setting it up, getting it ready. There's going to be some more swaps and auctions, so I'm getting it ready for whatever I happen to impulse buy. And then over here, this 55. These two angels, the blue angels here, have seemed to have done some pairing off. And I'm watching for eggs. I haven't bred angels before. So that'll be interesting. They're guarding this corner pretty good, but I've got the one little Sahika, and then, sorry, I'm drawing a blank on names. These are blue Acaras, that's what they are. And then the female Episto. And I've got some bristlenose in there, but looks like their fins are getting tore up, so I might want to move those. I've done some planting on it, like with everything else in here, temporarily. I'm going to change it around and do, I don't know if I'm going to do this tank planted or not, but one of the tanks is going to be planted. Alright, so these tanks down here, I've got some koi angels. They just want to look head on at the camera. And I'm going to screw up the name on these, but Kahaku swords, whatever those are, like koi looking albino sword tails back there. And then in this tank, of course, they're hiding all back behind the knocked over decorations and stuff because I just threw them in there. These are some wild caught green mollies. Not sure exactly on the species of those, but I picked those up this weekend as well. And over here, you'll remember that I had Xenotoka doadrii, and I lost the last female on those, and so I took those and took all the males and donated them to the Nashville club at their first meeting, so they could be auctioned off, and introduced the club to Gadiids, because they hadn't, a lot of the people there hadn't never heard of Gadiids. So I picked up another starter colony of Xenotoka doadrii, location San Marcos, of course. Alright, getting back up here on my feet. In here, I don't remember the last update, what happened there. If you saw the Honduran red points that I got from Rusty Wessels and had them in a breeder box, well, the next morning they had swam through the holes in the breeder box over into the main tank. So now they're in here with these black Moscows. Not ideal, because they are getting large enough that they're going to start picking off the fry. So we need to move them to their own tank here shortly. But you can see I have some ram's horns. There you can see the tail of my grow out competition fish, the Lexington Fish Club. We do a grow out competition, and this year it was bristlenose plecos, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I kind of forgot that I was supposed to be doing a grow out competition with it. But there it is, the tail of it at least, so I still have it, which is good because I'm supposed to turn it in this month. But I have some other bristlenose back in there somewhere with the black Moscows. Alright, and then over here there's a Xiphophorus milleri, young little platies, wild type Charis fish, and in there with them I have some Dumbo ear dragon guppies. I think that's what they are. I'm horrible with the guppy names, but I picked those up this weekend as well. I'm trying to remember which tank it, maybe this tank that I have assassin snails in. I need to figure out which tank I have assassin snails in so I don't put other snails in it trying to grow them up. Next door to those, we have the tequila split fin. Zuga Connecticus tequila. I hate that genus name because I can never say it correctly. There's a bunch of those. I'll probably be moving those to a larger tank soon. Next door over here, I've got some blue-eyed lemon Plecos. I always get the names backwards on those. I've got some half black pastel blue guppies. And somewhere hiding in there, I have some blue green shrimp. So kind of went with the theme of blue on that tank. I know blue dream shrimp on black is a bad thing, but that's where they landed. Next door here, I've got a reverse trio for now. Hopefully I get more of Zophophorus pygmaeus, the pygmy swordtail. Coming on by here, we've got some black mollies, some super red bristlenose, I've got live plants scattered throughout the tanks, but I'm not naming those. In this tank here, there they are back in the back, we've got the Phalaeictes quadripunctatus, or the 4-spot Merry Widow, another endangered live bearer. I've got ram's horn snails, cherry shrimp, and I believe there's some plecos in here. So note to self, this is not the tank with the assassin snails. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Alright, so down here, this is where one of the 125s is gonna go. Right now it's a junk pile. We'll go ahead and swing around here and show you this. I've got this cubby hole here. I think it was about 15 inches from the wall to the rack there. So I've got room to put something. Not really sure what I'll put there yet. And then I've just, that will not sit there. That's just where it's sitting for now. It's not fully hooked up. You can see lines are just hanging, but I've started playing with it some. This is the Bulk Reef Supply 7-stage reverse osmosis system, the 75 gallon per day. It's there, it's mounted, it's not hooked up to anything, but that's there for projects. I'm debating on how I want to plumb it and run it and all of that, but for now that's there. Let's see. Alright, we'll turn back around here, get to this middle section. Alright, so I've got the 255s on the end like you saw, and then I'm going to have 4 20s here and 4 20s on the bottom. And I got impatient and gave it a big jerk and a push and stuff, and I heard a pop, and I busted this tank behind the foam. But good thing is this foam background is siliconed in, so all the glass is held in place. It won't hold water anymore, but if anybody wants a good deal on a reptile tank, there we go. Alright, in this 20 gallon here, I've moved the Nanaluteus over here, the Amatollania Nanalutea. And where are they at? They're back in there. So I've upgraded them to a 20 gallon just because they will get larger. And I'll get the other 20s moved soon. I've just got some 5 gallons staged. I've got a 29 sitting up here, and I'm looking to sell it for a reptile tank. I don't know if it'll hold water or not. I'm just don't have it in my plan right now. I've got a 55 down here, and the plan is to have this 55 here, and the one that's over there that has the angels in it, move it up top. But I'll get around to that. The sink is still full of junk. Not plumbed up yet, but it'll get there. Here's my 2 10s. I'm not sure that they will stay here. They may move to the other side underneath the RO system. But on top we got the Xenotoka Izanai Rio Compostela. And the idea here is, wherever I put these, I want to put their certificate of authenticity from the Goody Ed Working Group above them, beside them, around them. Just that way I have that information right with them. And then I've got a mess down here in front of this tank. But we'll get down here and give them a look. That's the Xiphophorus calmani. And then over here, Amatelonia cana, Amicus splendens, Amatelonia sahica. I need to do some substrate on the bottom, and I've got a horrible algae problem. Apparently, or evidently, what I found out last night was I had left the timer turned manual on the lighting on these, and it stayed on for a few days. And then over here we've got the Amatelonia septimfasciata. Again, I need substrate in there. But something I was liking from my visit to Rusty Wessel's was the piles of rocks and wood that he used in his tanks that his Amatelonias were breeding on. So I'm adapting that to mine. I've got some 5 gallons set up over here, nothing in them, but they're there in case I'm picking something up. And I had a pair of black chin live bears. We can see that one is not doing so well, and I have lost the male today. That stinks. Well, so it goes. I'll probably pull her and put her in a different tank. She looks pregnant, so maybe she'll drop some fry for me. Now I'm upset. I'm disappointed. Moving over here to this tank. This is a tank of Liberty Mollies, Poecilia salvatoris. Do some fry there. And the goat ocellatus shell-dwellers, Neolamprologus, oh, these are Lamprologus ocellatus. And then down here in this tank, if we can find them, see some swimming around back in there. This is the, I think it's called the Pacific Molly, Poecilia butleri. Just a little fry there. Oh, there's a couple up top there. But I've still got some work to get this place organized and cleaned, and like the storage here is just piling up, and I keep pushing it that way as I make room for other things, and I need to stack it up and go put it somewhere else. One more fish that I forgot to mention. Over there. So I picked up those tanks and picked up a beta. That is in here for now. We we're working to improve the tank. Figure that tank there, where he is right now, is better than the cup that he was in. He's a lot warmer than he was in the cup. He's getting more frequent water changes, and shortly that tank will be filled up, have its filter going, heater running on it, and everything. Alright, well, as you can see, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. Got to take care of that little black chin back there. That's really disappointing. I'll have to search out some more. And got a lot of stuff to take care of. So I'm going to get off here and get back to work. Now I'm bummed out about losing that little black chin live bear. But that's part of it, I guess, and when you just buy a pair, that's what you risk. Alright, well, leave comments, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll get another update before too long.